Hi guys, welcome back. My name is Lori. I'm a recruiter. This is clip number 3. Is this 3? Yeah, it's three. It's three. First one was about your resume. Second one was about how to choose what you're going to apply for. And now we're talking about your interview. This is content that's geared to CEGEP and college students. If you don't know what CEGEP is, don't worry about it. It is a college system in Quebec. So let's dig in. The reason why I am sharing this content with you is because I have interviewed and sent a lot of young college and CEGEP kids in for interviews, and they don't do very well. So I don't want that to happen to you. So based on my experience, I'm going to share the following tips with you. So if you've been called in for an interview, good for you, well done. That is a good step into getting a job. So before you go in for your interview, think about who your employer is. Who is it that's inviting you in? All right. What is it they do? Who is their customer? Because whatever it is you're going to be doing for them, whatever you're going to be doing for them, all paths lead back to the customer, to the product or service that they deliver. The reason that they are in business. They're in business because a customer buys their service or their product, period. Whatever it is you're going to be doing for them is to help them deliver that product or service. Make sense? So I'll give you an example. Like my daughter worked for the airlines. So she was working at the airport. She wasn't working in flight. She wasn't a flight attendant or anything. She was working at the airport. So her job was customer service. Her job was to help their passengers, their customers, get through the airport, and if they needed help with language or mobility issues or to get checked in, whatever it was, she was the person to work with them. Okay, so she knew who she was dealing with. She was dealing with a customer traveling through an airport, which is stressful, which is exhausting. Some of them have small children who are crying. So she had to really understand who the customer was and how she could do right by her employer in delivering the right experience to these customers. All right, always know who the customer is. If you walk into an interview and can demonstrate that you understand who the customer is and what your job is relative to providing a great experience for the customer, for the product or service they're going to receive, you are going to look like a star. On a star. So if you're applying to a restaurant to be a server and you know the customer is the patron who's coming in and sitting at a table and wants to eat, you know that to do right by that position, you're going to be polite, you're going to be friendly, you're going to be very cooperative with your colleagues at work, the other people who are making the food, and the hostess or host who's seating the people at their table, whatever it might be. You have to be understanding what it is. What it is the experience for the person eating. Good food, good service, good everything. You are responsible to deliver that. When you understand what you do relative to the final product or service, I'm telling you, you're going to look like you are brilliant, okay? Because you might say, but it's obvious. Like, what is she talking about? It's obvious. It's not obvious. It's not obvious. What most people know is, oh, I'm going in, I'm going to be a server at the restaurant. Okay, well, what does that mean? Well, I'm going to bring them food. And what else? What else does it mean? The reason your employer is in business because people keep coming back. The only reason they keep coming back is because the food is good, the service is good, the ambiance is right. You're part of that now. What are you going to bring to the table? Okay, so no pun intended, by the way, with what are you going to bring to the table? Literally no pun intended, but I realized that was sort of funny. So you need to understand who the customer is, because when you go into an interview and talk about whatever it is you're going to be doing, you can say that you understand the importance to that job relative to what it is that their customer needs. If you're going to be working as an assistant at a school, for example, or at a hospital where the customer is either, a patient or parents at the school, that's who the end customer is. Okay, and it could be that the doctors are your customer within the hospital, like they're the ones that that need your service within the hospital. It doesn't matter. You need to know who your customer is, and you need to know what your responsibility is relative to the customer. You will look like a hero. It's not going to guarantee you'll get the job, but they're going to realize, my God, this kid is on the ball. Perfect. Okay, that's what we want. Now, when you go into to the interview, you are going to be speaking to somebody who is going to be influencing whether or not you are going to be going to the next round, or if you're going to be hired. It depends who they are in this decision-making process. Your job is to make that person look like a hero for passing you on to the next person. The way you do that is you show up, you're awake, you're engaged, You demonstrate that you know what they do. You demonstrate that you know how your position contributes to the success of the business. They are going to think, my gosh, this person is good, and this person's going to make me look like a hero for passing them on to the hiring manager, to the next person, to the business owner, whatever it is. That's how they're going to feel. They're going to feel that like a hero. So your job is to make them feel like a hero. And all you have to do that is to be awake and engaged, understand the position you've applied to, understand what it is you have to deliver with regards to how it impacts their business, and you're going to be flying. Again, it's not going to guarantee you'll get the job, but you will have made the right impression. Plus, you will get great experience in having these conversations with people. Okay? So, when you're in an interview, you don't have to go in and be nervous. A lot of people get nervous with interviews. You don't have to be nervous. Most people interviewing aren't very good at it. So, the way I had told you in the previous clip that most job descriptions are terrible is a big word. I'll go with it. Terrible. Most people who do interviewing are not great at it. It's not a skill most people develop, and they're not that comfortable with it. So they just sort of do what they think you have to do. So keep that in mind. But you're going in and having a discussion. If a business has an open position and they need to fill that position, it means that every day that position isn't filled, the business can't hit its goals. In other words, they need you, or they need someone like you, but they need you in order to hit their business goals. That, right? If it's a summer camp, they need you because they need people to take care of the kids. If it's a pool, they need you because they need a lifeguard if you're applying to the lifeguard position. If you're applying to the restaurant, they need you because they need a server, or the retail store, or the research assistant at the university. They need you in order to hit their targets, okay? So it's an adult conversation. I don't want you to go into it thinking like, oh my God, I hope they choose me. I hope I'm okay. This isn't that. People will behave such a way to make you feel that way. Forget about it. It's not that. You know what you bring to the table. You are smart, you're engaged, you're awake, you want to work. That is good. That is all good. You're going in good faith because you think you're going to do the right job by this employer. Go in and have that conversation with them. Don't be cocky. Don't babble. If they ask you a question, answer it. Just answer it. If you're not sure, say, oh, I'm not sure because I haven't worked in this milieu before, so I'm not that familiar with that piece of it, but I'm comfortable that I can learn it and learn it such that I can do right by you. That's all. But, don't lie. Don't make things up. Keep it super clean, okay? When you leave the interview, thank the person for their time and ask them what's next. And they'll probably say, oh, we'll get back to you. It's going to be some standard line. We'll get back to you probably in the next 10 days or in the next week, or we're hiring, we're interviewing many people right now. It's sort of the standard lines that everybody uses, okay? So just say, thank you. I look forward to hearing from you, and that's it, and leave, okay? But make sure to say thank you, and it's nice to say, I hope to hear from you. Now, let's pretend you get the job. And there might be a second interview and a third interview, and everything I'm saying, just repeat each time, okay? The questions might get more pointed. You're not going to go through that many interviews at your age and stage. It's not going to be, it's probably two, the first person, the second person, and boom, they hire you or they don't. And it could be that you only go through one interview and they hire you or they don't, okay? Which is perfectly fine. Now, first day on the job, what happens? You got the job, good for you, well done, excellent, let's go. So a few things. You're going to want to be on time, not just the first day, but every day, okay? On the first day, make sure you introduce yourself to the people you're going to be working with. Hi, my name is Lori. It's my first day. I'm going to be doing such and such. Nice to meet you. What do you do? Okay, great. I might have questions, so I might be coming and finding you at some point. People are going to be, for the most part, very cooperative. Try not to be high maintenance. Don't ask every question like, what about, and what about, and what about, like, use your best judgment. You know what to do. If you don't know what to do and you're not sure, ask the question. But if you can figure it out, try and figure it out. Like, oh my God, I have to stock the shelves with the shampoo. What do I do? And you don't have to say to someone, I have to stock the shelves with shampoo. What do I do? They're going to say, look for the aisle with the shampoo. I mean, like, what? No, you know what to do. All right. So, but ask questions when you need to ask questions. If you have a 30-minute lunch break or whatever it is, don't take 32 minutes. Like, don't be that person. Take your 30 minutes. In terms of a commute to work, please be careful because, if you're the type of person that shows up like a half a minute before you're supposed to be somewhere, maybe your friends are going to be okay with that, but your employer is probably not going to be okay with that, because the one day where you're delayed due to traffic or something that was out of your control, you're for sure going to be late. So if you don't want to be that person, be the person that always plans that there won't be clear sailing that day getting to work and you might be late. So make sure you're always there early enough that you've got a bit of a buffer and they know that you're not tripping into work, like in ripping off your jacket, like racing to, it's not a good look, okay? Try to avoid that. Now, in terms of ongoing success in the position, every day keep in mind the same thing. Why am I here? What am I doing? How am I contributing? Keep that in mind, because that's going to always lead you to what it is you need to deliver. So be super cooperative with your colleagues, and be super helpful as new people come on board, because once you were the new person. So be the person who says to them, if I can help you in any way, don't be shy to find me, and help them along, okay? Now, last thing. I think it's the last thing. You might be working for people who aren't very nice. You might be working for people who aren't very smart. You might be working for people that cheat, lie, and steal. Anything is possible. So just keep in mind, you might not like who you're working for. You might like the work. You might need the work. And you have to be able to gauge whether or not this is the right place for you to be, okay? I've worked for people that I don't like, but I've loved the work and I've stayed. And that's it. And I've recognized the fact that I didn't like them. I might not like someone, but it doesn't mean I won't work well with them. Okay, so keep that in mind too. You don't have to like everyone. You don't have to be friends with everyone, but you have to do good work, and you have to be cooperative, and you have to help your coworkers. So, if someone's cheating, lying, and stealing, and they're expecting you to do same, whatever. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but if you can find other work, that probably is going to be your best course of action. So you be mindful of that. But in terms of your ongoing success, if you have a relatively decent person that you're working for, and you like the work, and there's plenty of it, keep going. You will do well there. When it's time for you to move on, well, a couple of things are going to happen. When it's time for you to move on, you're going to have the people that you've worked with, your bosses, your coworkers, they're going to become the next references for the next job that you're looking for. It doesn't matter if you're looking for something completely different. These are the people that can attest to the fact that you showed up, that you were on time, that you were cooperative, that you did good work. So you're building a network of people who will always be a help to you, and you will always be a help to them. So always leave with everything clean. Again, you don't have to like everybody. You don't have to want to spend your personal time with them. Doesn't matter. But you have to do right by your position and carry forward these people in the way that works for you and that can be helpful to them. Okay? So that was clip 3. We now have you organized. How to get your resume together. How to decide what type of positions to apply to. How to prepare yourself for the interview, the concept of the hero chain, making someone look like a hero for passing you on to the next person, how to show up on the first day, and how to show up every day so you have success in the position. All of this builds to what's going to come next. Even if you stay at this company, if you go work for your next company and you stay there your entire career, it's unlikely it happens these days, but it does happen, okay? You will be going up the ladder in responsibility in this company that you're at, which is perfect. It's the same thing applies. When they want to move you to the next level, you have to get past the guards that decide whether or not you're going. It's like another interview system, right? So you have to make them look like a hero for promoting you to the next level. You have to explain to them why you're the right person to be promoted to that level. So all the things we're talking about, it's not necessarily just about this job right now, that you're going to have while you're a student. It could be because you're in a company you'll be forever. The same rules apply as you're going through. And if you become a hiring manager one day and you have to hire people, you have to think of it now from that perspective. What does it mean when I hire? But there's going to be other clips on that topic. So my friends, that's it. Good luck to you. Good luck when you go out and get a job. I hope this has all been helpful to you. Find me if you need me. I'm super easy to find. And I look forward to seeing you again on other clips down the road as you are pursuing your career. Thanks for stopping in. Bye for now.